36.9 degrees north, 106.9 degrees west. Archuleta Mesa, New Mexico, 7,000 feet above sea level, jagged red rock, high desert wind, nothing for miles except sagebrush and silence. 3,000 people live in the town of Dulce, population unchanged for 40 years. The Jicarilla Apache Reservation stretches across 2,000 square miles of northern New Mexico. Beautiful, isolated, forgotten. But there's something about this place that doesn't fit. The locals don't talk about it. Not to outsiders. Not even to each other. There are certain roads you don't drive down at night. Certain parts of the mesa where your radio cuts out completely. Where your compass spins. Where helicopters without markings circle in patterns that make no sense. And then there are the stories. Stories about what exists beneath the surface. Not metaphorically. Literally beneath the surface. 7 levels deep. Each one more classified than the last. This is the story of Dulce Base, the facility that doesn't exist. The military installation with no budget line. The underground complex that makes Area 51 look like a distraction. Because here's what they don't tell you about secrets. The best way to hide something isn't to deny it exists. It's to make sure no one is looking in the right place. While the world obsesses over Nevada, the real work happens here. Under your feet. Under their feet. Under 7,000 feet of New Mexican rock. Welcome back to Forbidden Atlas. Let's start with geography. Dulce sits on the Colorado-New Mexico border, 2.5 hours from Albuquerque, 4 hours from Denver. The town itself is small. One main street, a few gas stations, a casino, a school. Most residents are Jicarilla Apache. Unemployment is high, opportunity is low. It's the kind of place people leave, not the kind they move to. But Archuleta Mesa is different. The mesa rises abruptly from the desert floor. Steep cliffs, dense pine forests on top, ancient lava flows create natural barriers. There are only 3 roads that lead up. All of them are gated. All of them are monitored. In 1976, a local rancher reported losing cattle. Not just dead cattle, mutilated cattle, surgical precision. Organs removed. Blood drained. No tracks. No evidence. Just clean cuts and empty fields. The next year it happened again, and again, and again. By 1980, over 30 cattle had been found this way. The state police investigated. The FBI investigated. No arrests. No explanations. The case went cold. But the helicopters never stopped coming. Black helicopters, no identification numbers, no military markings, flying low over the mesa at night, landing in places where there are no landing pads, at least none that you can see from the ground. Here's the thing about remote locations. They're perfect for 2 kinds of operations, things you want to protect and things you want to hide. Area 51 is protection theater. Everyone knows it exists. Everyone knows it tests experimental aircraft. The government even acknowledged it in 2013, 58 years after it opened. But Dulce? Dulce doesn't exist, not on any military budget, not on any congressional report, not on any map that matters. Which means whatever is there doesn't need acknowledgement. It needs invisibility. And that should terrify you. The stories about Dulce Base started circulating in the early 1980s. Most people dismissed them. Conspiracy theories, internet folklore, the ravings of people who spent too much time alone in the desert. But then the blueprints leaked. Not officially. Nothing about Dulce is official. But documents started appearing. Schematics, floor plans, security protocols, a massive underground facility. 7 levels deep. Each level more restricted than the last. Level 1. Security and communications. This is the front door. Military personnel. Standard DoD clearance. Nothing unusual. At least, nothing they'd tell you about. Level 2. Human resources and administrative offices. Paperwork. Logistics. The boring bureaucracy that keeps black projects running. Everyone here thinks they're working on atmospheric research or seismic monitoring. They're not. Level 3. Laboratories. This is where things get interesting. Weapons testing. Advanced propulsion systems. Materials that don't exist in any civilian database. The kind of research that skips peer review because there are no peers. Level 4. Mind control research. Psychological operations. Techniques for interrogation, manipulation, persuasion. If you think MKUltra ended in 1973, you haven't been paying attention. Level 5. Alien housing. This is where the story goes off the map. Or does it? Multiple witnesses describe gray beings, non-human entities, living quarters designed for biological forms that aren't human, working alongside human scientists. Cooperative research programs that started in the 1950s and never stopped. Level 6. The Nightmare Hall, genetic experimentation, hybridization programs, things that used to be human, things that were never human. The level where ethics don't exist because the work is too important to let morality get in the way. Level 7. Cold storage. This is the bottom. The place where they keep things they can't destroy but can't risk activating. Biological samples, weapon systems, technology so advanced it might as well be magic, locked behind blast doors that would survive a direct nuclear strike. 7 levels, each one roughly the size of a city block, connected by maglev trains, powered by geothermal generators that tap into the volcanic system beneath the mesa. Entirely self-sufficient, entirely hidden. Does it sound insane? Of course it does. But here's the question you should be asking. If it's just a story, why are there armed patrols on roads that lead nowhere? Why are there sensor grids in the middle of empty desert? Why do satellite images of the mesa get automatically redacted in Google Earth? The absence of evidence isn't evidence of absence. Sometimes it's just evidence of a really good cover-up.